critical of the plane lines, and I appreciate that from you because you know how hard it is for some of these teams to fly from the very top of the map all the way to the very bottom of the map where they want to go.
Well, that's okay. Yes, because of timing, right? If you're already landing at the north and you keep it consistent with your drop spots, maybe you love Kotoba blocks, maybe you love Rostava shops, whatever it is, you can get there early on, get your cash, get your loadout, keep on moving. For a lot of the squads, well, they dropped quick, grabbed weapons they felt comfortable with, and started flying and frying. And this battle of this rooftop has been going on for the entire series that we've witnessed this far. And Vortex in the gulag. Blade, Robstar still trying to find angles.
Yeah, and again, if you think about math, multipliers, history, paper, all the stats, it's pretty simple. This team on your screen, they've mostly done enough. They need about maybe 8 points if North American Threshold is anything to go by to make sure they make global finals, and they need 8 points in the next 2 games. So all you need to do is win 1 early encounter. Blade trying to help out his team with a sniper, and well, apparently is able to. Unfortunately, there's really no team to help out. It looks like Vortex might try to drop on that player to get the cleanup, and somehow someone's letting him do that as Vortex from the skies gets right back into the mix and just makes a play. Full team wipe. That is wild. Okay, we like those. Well done, Vortex.
Yeah, we do. And honestly, when I was saying use ground loot that you like and you got comfortable with, but the Moors was hitting like an absolute truck there. Now we can focus on reclaiming Bazaar for ourselves, getting our loadout thanks to always having kind of a buy station around that area. For Control deck, well, they're going to hit the gulag this early on in Gab's Intercensal Kong. A nice regain for them, already getting some good eliminations to kick things off in Estates down toward that south. See, it takes them a little bit longer to get down here, and we picked up some resources, but we're not going to be happy just yet. Hopefully, see what those perks are and get some good things moving, right? We want some ghost. If you're gonna find ground loot perks, I want like EOD, I want ghost, I want the goods.
I want kills. I think this team's down. I think this team's down in 36th place. I mean, we gotta go yesterday. Let's make a move, Kong. They're a very talented trio. Just things are not going their way right now. So start flying and frying and stretching that far. You might not be able to fry. Speaking of fry, Dare Cities, nice play. That's a wipe, by the way, on that Gianni team. Sniper Pigna also out. Still in the lobby, technically into the gulag, I'm sure. But full team wipe there as they try to restabilize later. And back to Aaron. Yeah, we'll take those as well. How about you throw that one on the timeline? That evens up the playing field and puts it back into your court to go get a team wipe. And Marcus and Scuffology know it. This is one of the teams they need to cut down early. This is a team ahead of them in the leaderboard.
I would say Rafix just got kidnapped out of the side-by-side by the Aaron, and I would love to see more of that. They are in hot pursuit of that duo. We'll have to see if they can get ahead of that. Walker and Liam, look, they're not going to stop. And I love that Aaron is kind of taking his pathway to keep him on that high ground, to let that Car 98 kind of give them the ability with those angles. Topology and Marcus now, they're going to be running into other squads inevitably. You can see that cross from that top building towards the north, but that's what's going to be a pressure, right? And if Walker and Aaron and Liam kind of keep overextending in this chase, there has to be a limit, because do you throw your life away by getting hyper aggro, or do you kind of have the Mugen train action right here? It is going to keep on frying it. Physic, Benno, be groovy, looking for more Elans.
I think there's a movie about this. Something about a fight on a train. I don't know. Y'all will figure it out.
Bullet train?
Yeah, I think
Bullet
so.
train?
But it looks like there's more fighting going on. Look who's going to make a play for the bullet train. It's Jesus Jr. pushing the equation, forcing Benno off the back of the train and on the run. Physic alive as well, but be groovy in the gulag. So without player advantage, without positioning, they are out of here. And it is all train for Mr. Jesus Jr. and co. as they try to continue to push their way up the leaderboard. Again, that team, they won a map, but they are not in the top 4. They've got to make a move, and they got to make a move now. So it looks like we've just lost our very first team. I should be able to give you an update on who that was here shortly and if it matters.
All right. Seeing if we can hold on, but C-Town's getting a little aggressive. We're still pushing towards the south, and this is one of the farthest areas of the north that's currently still in the circle. We are going to be kind of getting more squad wipes for our number 1 seed, but they found themselves in the gulag hollow. Aizen still back in play, and let's see if we can hit these angles here against Chow.
Yeah, that Paquette team, I believe one of the teams fully eliminated. They're in 14th, so their chances of making it pretty brutal. And, well, the chances of making out of the gulag here for Hollow, taken away by a zip line as Chow sneaks out of that one. Doesn't want to take the gunfight and stays alive.
So Hayes in there for an Hail Mary regain, just the last one alive on the lobby. And You look at where you are on the leaderboard, 63 points, but only 10 points, a little over that to separate you between you and 4th place. Ghoul, Diablo in the gulag, and we're still here in this kind of 1v1 against that 2-strong roster. You can hear that they're popping smokes and looking for that high ground, but Ghoul's just looking to see if maybe we can get up towards this next level and maybe pop out of a door, climb on up. Ooh.
Slowly but surely, this Ghoul team in 11th, by the way, and this is make or break. Both teammates fully eliminated. Ghoul cannot fall here. Being chased, able to restabilize. It looks like his opponent thinking better of this fight now that he doesn't have the advantage. Does have high ground, and Ghoul just might be saying, this ain't worth it. At least get to a position where he thinks he can win the fight. Sisty's gonna show face on top. Hasn't spotted Ghoul. Makes a play. Able to crack shields, but unfortunately not in a position to push that fight. It does give him a moment of reprieve to get to a new area. But the problem is you've got Rathix and Marcus waiting, lying in wait to pick up Ghoul in transition. If Ghoul falls here, that could be all she wrote for this team's chances to make global finals.
There's a very big chance that that's going to occur the moment we pop that smoke. It's going to give the signal flare to that roster who has just gotten back to a full 3 stack to push on to Ghoul. The pressure just keeps on coming, and that was our last smoke. We pop in the LTV. It's our great escape that we're looking to make, but you know how hard it is to kind of get through here? It does. It works. We've survived for now.
If Ghoul somehow fully restabilizes his team and has a good map here and puts him up in position, if they qual in general, we gotta look back on that play as one of the greatest escapes in Warzone history to make global finals if you can do it. A lot of work to do, but a great play by Ghoul to get back out of there and hopefully help out his team. Unfortunately, we go right back to the mix. Toyor in trouble, losing Palooka. They were able to trade out one, it looks like, from distance. Big Tony out of here. Crazy Snake with the help from distance. That's team 25. They've been a little quiet recently, but Bayer is still near the top of the leaderboard in terms of individual slaying power. Unfortunately, looks like his teammates are being cut down as Palooka tries to play support, but no. It's going to be all on the back of Palooka right now as Team Crazy Snake also in a bit of a blender, and a full team of 3 from Hey Aaron, Team 3 swinging in to try to play cleanup.
Yeah, if I'm Palooka, I just want to play very small right now, make my presence unbeknownst to that squad, but it looks like they're setting up the pinch to be able to lay siege to the building. And hey, an isolated 1v1, and we could have started something big there, but Aaron is going to be able to wipe that squad to the gulag. They go. FIFA, Lennon, Jukies, they're skirting the line, and they need to play to perfection for the next 2 maps, which is going to be a very tall ask for this roster. But so far, looking good. Looking good,
but here comes a full team of 3 looking to third party. It's Zakar trying to play spoiler here and is doing so in time. 1, 2, 3. They're all wiped. They're fully eliminated. Are they out of the lobby or do they have Gulag Tiff? I think they are fully eliminated. I will not make the call until we are 100% certain. What? And it looks like there is 1 player remaining, and it is Lennon by himself in the gulag. This is a must-win scenario, and unfortunately, shots go out. He loses his plate. He's low, has an angle, able to hit a couple. Tip, this is so close. This is potentially for the life of the tournament. Not all she wrote, but second to last map. Have to make a play for the kill or for the zip. Where are they? I found you! A couple shots, Lennon low! They're likely gonna zip out of here or push the equation. Lennon, cut down! See you later! Fully eliminated! They were in 4th. They needed a good game to protect their spot. They're gonna lose it. It is gonna come down to the final map yet again for this team.
I said play to perfection, and then we see that when you are sitting in 4th place, 58.6 points. 6 points separating you in 5th place. Team Toyor. Now, we saw them having a lot of early action where it came down to just Palooka on the map. So they're already in shambles. My biggest question is, did they hit a regain? Are they full strength back to make a play for the top 4 here?
Oh, good grief. A brutal gulag, and I'm glad we were able to see it because that's a tough one to think about, especially going into the next map. You have 0 momentum on your side. just all the wind you've gained over the last couple of maps is completely out of your sails. But back to the action we go. We've got a lot more teams to talk about and a lot more teams vying for a top 4 position as the window of opportunity is not only unlocked, it is wide open for a lot of these teams. Quicker tries to make a play on Pele, unfortunately getting cut down. As looks like Petey actually able to grab a trade, but is the only player alive and in trouble as Jesus Jr. is joining the fight and taking down control. Here goes Petey running for his life and running straight into the arms of a welcome team flying straight at him. Petey thinks better of it. Tim on the run away, Petey. You're last alive for your team and you are in trouble.
Yeah, with Team Darzity kind of moving into the fray, looking for a nice third party, it makes sense. They're currently in 10th place on the leaderboard, just 11 points underneath that 4th or 5th place threshold. So if you're looking for smart fights, that's a great way to try and open and turn some things into your advantage. But Jesus Jr. has already rotated on out and working on that Chow roster, but Darzity doubles back and looks to third party that for our squad that cannot keep that momentum moving. Aydan, Zach, Hollow is constantly in fights, looking for a lot of eliminations and amping up that aggressive nature, but it's only Zach left standing. And we kind of drop back into a full roster of 3. We start chucking those smokes, but we really don't have a lot to work with. Hopefully we can kind of bob and weave through some of these buildings here down in the south.
The reach out there was insane, but you didn't really have anywhere to go anyway. So that's our 2nd place team fully eliminated out of this lobby, folks. Window of opportunity blown off the hinges. Now it's just a wide open hole in the building to the grand finals. A brutal in for a couple of these teams here in the penultimate map. Frankly, we've got one more to go, so there's still an opportunity to make top 4, but you could see Zach fall out of the top 4. You'll see tfue fall out of the top 4. We're gonna see some new names into the fray, and it might be Toyo, it might be Darzity. Again, you called it out perfectly, Tim. This team was in 10th going into this one, and they're wiping teams left, right, and center. They got 9 kills right now. They are just behind some of our top kill leaders in this map. Squad 3, actually. Hey, Aaron is actually our kill leader right now with 11 total. But things are about to get real mixy as we head all the way down to suburbs. Man, this was a map that FIFA Kill's team needed. This is their landing spot. They just get contested early. Speaking of contested, a lot of swimmers.
A lot of teams having those early contests, just really throwing a wrench into their series. But on 5 here, trying to keep alive underwater, looking for a res onto Splashed. But we just have to cut off these angles and we really don't have a lot of space to work with. Now, one thing that we can do is you see that Jesus Jr. has been really holding down the fort and getting squad wipe after squad wipe on just the inside of the circle, just south of where this roster has found themselves. Now, which way do we want to go when it comes to getting out of the water for the bridge? And then we kind of take a step back. Beautiful free cam shot to show what lays in wait for that Darzity roster the moment they get towards land. And Jesus Jr., Pele, and Kibby's, well, they're gonna focus on just diving closer into that circle.
And that Kibby's team is one to watch out for, as BinOG is apparently looking out for them as well. Cracking a couple plays from distance, not gonna do too much. Because again, that Jesus Jr. team, they won the first map, but they're still outside of top 4 and by several points. I think they were in roughly like 8th, 9th place going into this one. They're slowly creeping up the leaderboard. You might see their names in the top 5 here shortly. But the problem with every single one of these fights we've seen in this map as we lose Donathan Tick is it's third-party central. I mean, that's always the case with Warzone Customs. That's always the case with these competitions. But with 2 maps to go, teams are getting a lot more fiery with pushing onto these fights to try to play cleanup and try to play janitor in Urzikstan because they know it's their best opportunity to find kills, and they've got to risk it for the biscuit. If you're down in 15th or below, you've got to swing and you've got to get a ton of eliminations. So I'm seeing that from Hey It's Aaron off screen with 13 kills now. I'm seeing it for some of our teams 8, 9, 10 points when frankly they're way down at the bottom because they have to. Their only chance making grand finals is if they fly at their competition.
Well, I asked earlier, what was this roster looking like? Did they get the full regain? And they do. Palooka, Toyor, and Ganstachi are going to be the biggest threat to any of our teams that find themselves in the top 4 right now. Because you've already seen Team FIFA Kill fall. And even with Jesus Jr. kind of fragging out those 2 in particular rosters, are going to need to be watched throughout the remainder of map number 4. And you can even see there, Skulls, Stage, still alive. They're your match 3 winners. They went the distance, found a ton of eliminations, put a 36-point game on the board. They could also open up and get into the top 4 here.
Yeah, watch out for that orange 3, by the way. Yes, 19th place or so right now, but they are your kill leaders with 14 kills. They are hunting the edge of zone. That's, hey, it's Aaron, making him move up this leaderboard and making it move a little bit late, but not too late. As long as they can secure some decent multipliers, they should actually have a really strong game that'll put them up at least within striking distance going into the last map. Could see a little bit of history repeating itself from yesterday, but a lot more Warzone to be played as high ground proves to be successful yet again for Peluca. Toyor, they only had 6-7 kills, making that 8 and 9 here if they can clean up a couple of these. And so far so good as several teams trying to push down below them and then to zone. Here's the problem with this team, and they know it. They gotta move, and they gotta move now. There are 3-4 teams behind them, and they need to beat these teams to zone. The problem, Tiff, 1, 2, 3, 4, and count them up ahead of them on the rotation. This is gonna be a really tough rotation. They need the multipliers. They've got to stay alive here.
They do, but honestly, this is going to be so difficult for the roster. So start chucking those C4s, see if they can connect and maybe do a lot of the work for you. But we need to hang down towards the south. But when it gets so open, especially where that Clapper roster, number 9 on the minimap, has already separated out and taken so much of the space. Now, they are the ones that needed a massive game to jump up the leaderboard, and they may have poised themselves in a phenomenal position to be able to do it. We've already lost Tachi here for Peluca and Toyor, and to be fair, if I'm FIFA Kill, if that roster is sitting here watching this whole game play out, you are just preying on the downfall of the teams that find themselves on the leaderboard right behind you.
I was gonna say, look who's playing spoiler. That's Team Rocket blasting off and pushing these teams aggressively. Team 9, they need it. They're down in the 20s as well. They've got to swing on some of their opposition, and it's working right now. Kill after kill after kill going their way, and the next team in their way, Toyor, Peluca, about to rotate to them. Team Rocket playing spoiler, Team Rocket playing for the leaderboard, and they need to. A couple C4s in the face. Unfortunate opposition there for the side of Peluca as they pick up Zakar and even the playing field. Now with a hair of an advantage, but a quick buyback from Team Zakar. They're making a move. That Team Rocket team just now cleaning up kills. They're only on 8, by the way, and we do see our kill leader, Team 3, fall before the 1.6 multiplier. A huge note because they had 17 kills. Hey, it's Aaron was about to go viral on this map, but unfortunately falls too early.
Oh, and it's going to come down to the final wire. Here we go. Regain onto Tachi. We've got gas mask for the end game play. There's one team that's had a massive rotate, and that is going to be this squad. Needs to move forward. Let's jump into it. Listen in.
Wait, Benji, don't leave your back open. Don't leave your back open. You're going to get us killed. Don't leave the back open.
Yeah, I got it. I'm watching. Wait, what's up? You mean the ladder?
No, the other roof.
Heli team.
Turn back.
The fighting on the heli.
Team on the right here, careful.
How you running there?
Up in, on the vine.
Got it.
Step him. Go back in. We're good.
Guys, look at the heli team if you can.
Pushing us. Down low, Bagel. You gotta get up.
I'm up.
No, like all the way.
Listen. How many PDFs do you want? I have one. PDFs.
I think we try and roll early.
No.
I think we get to the crane. and PDS to crane.
I think
we gotta do it.
Great comms, great small talk, great call to get Bagel back up top. Would have lost his life if they didn't, but here goes the rotation. They got to swing out way wide, and well, who's in zone? Apparently, Tachi's way up on crane, just playing for placement right now. They have a decent amount of kills, but here's the big wrap by that team. They've made it all the way, and there's been one team in center of zone since the very beginning of the last couple. Here for 3-4 minutes, it's Team Marcus. They need a big game, and unfortunately, only 4 kills because they got here so early. They do have a nice spot. The problem is every single team is staring at them. Every single team wants that spot, aside from Bagel, who plays outside the zone till top 10. They get it. Now they're playing for top 5, and the only building in zone is held down by the Germans. The Germans need kills, though. They got to clean up nearly the rest of the players in this lobby to have a decent map.
You got R7 though, kind of moved into the center building for StuKX, going for that crane alongside Bagel. That big fight to wipe Team Toyor, who was just on the outside looking in. Did they wrap up enough eliminations to do what they needed to do to get into the top 4? Yes, they jump up to 3rd. Now, Bagel, Benzi, and StuKX looking to do a little bit of the same if they can. What a beautiful shot. Honestly, one of y'all has to have a Car 98K. I need a trick shot for the win off the crane.
Unreal. I just can't even imagine the fact that the top of this crane is in zone. They can just sit up here, grab placement, and grab kills. There's nothing anybody could do about it. Nobody can even hardly shoot back. This is beautiful. No Car 98s. It doesn't matter. I got a Holger. I'm just raining Hellfire from above. Finally, they have to rotate, but they get paid for being up there. So many kills and playing spoiler to teams. But guess what? Team Rocket, they have finally blasted up to the moon. They're looking to catch some freaking Pokemon, catch some kills along the way. Good grief. All three alive. They've got positioning. They've got players. They're pushing the equation. They're picking up kills. They needed it bad, and they are swinging on these teams. They went from 6 eliminations all the way to 16 and likely 17, 18 TEF as they clean up the rest of these couple players floating around.
If I'm not mistaken, they were outside the 20th place threshold before this map, looking for a massive game. And now, well, we just got to clean up Bagel, the last person standing in their way. Was it enough? Regardless, a match 4 win for Team Clapper. Great job.
Wow. I mean, it's about time. This team, they did well in LCQs last year. At least Rocket and Zakar did. They bring in Clapper. They've been struggling today. And then they drop a 38-point game. 19 eliminations. This is the one time where I will go back on what I said before, where not all your kills are going to come into the end game, not in LCQs. This time they did. This squad was on 6-7 eliminations like 2 circles ago at the end of those circles. And then they swing on every single team because they have player advantage. A crazy look back at this last stand though, because Benzi and StuKX made a huge play on top of the crane, a great IGL call, and they get paid with points here on top 5. Look at this, just raining Hellfire from above.
There's really not much you can do to counteract that. Now, they do have to kind of jump on down, and Clapper's going to be the one that picks up